Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Claire's Hard Grind. I'm a little giggly right now because I finally finished Charles Hu's dynamic sketching class surface rendering homework. And that homework was hard. The last page took me 3 hours. I was proud that I had the endurance to finish the page and not get burnout. This class, we're going to learn how to draw octopus. I want to talk about my experiences a little bit taking this class right now. What I appreciate about Charles Hu and what he's teaching right now is that he did a call out on the side, just like what Peter Han suggested. And he drew cross contour on the form, and then he showed that if there is a light coming from the top, what would the shadow looks like? He showed because there is a plane that's facing up, there are going to be a plane that's facing away from the light source, and it's going to be in shadows. And he suggested that if you see a problem that you don't know how to solve, it's best if you do call-outs on the side and really figure it out. And he said, this is a sketchbook, you don't have to show it to anybody. And he said that this is where you address your weaknesses and practice on what you're good at. So yeah, you should feel comfortable doing this kind of study. I show it to you all because I have no shame. So anyway, we're concluding the Charles Hu dynamic sketching class, marine animal first lecture, which is an octopus. And here are the notes that I've taken for the class. The main takeaway is we need to start with the gesture, build shape on top of the gesture, and eventually add structure. He did mention that if you want to add shading to your animal, to your image, at least break it down to 3 values. 1, 2, 3. And if you can't do that, then your image is not going to read. So I tried to keep that in mind. I went a little ham on his face and I almost messed it up. I didn't really look at where the light direction is, so I kind of drew over the light spot, which is really darkest dark. However, I tried to, fake it by adding a little bit of texture and hoping that that will read as one of the patterns. But considering it's the same value as the shadow, it doesn't really work, but at least it doesn't look so jarring anymore. I also learned in this lecture that in order for the tentacle to look like it's turning, you need to switch the direction of the ellipse. The ellipse should go from round to less round to less round. Eventually, it's going to look like really thin ellipse. We also built structure on top of 3D shape, 2D shapes. And there are some perspective that's going on. Perspective help to add volume. And he also said don't copy, which is something that I also heard from Glenn Wilpu, and that is very interesting. Charles Hu did emphasize that we don't copy or attempt to copy. Instead, we get a understanding of what the gesture, what the structure is like, and then you just fill out the middle, as you need, as you design it the way that you think it should be. So that makes sense. I really did appreciate him showing how to add shadows after you add the cross contour on the forms though. And oh yeah, lastly, rule of third or rule of 3. So if 3 things lines up and they look the same, make sure the fourth one is different. And that's all there is to it. I hope you have fun watching me draw. I hope that if you drew along, I hope you have fun too. After all, at the end of the day, art is for us, and it should make us happy. So that's the end of Claire's art grind for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!